Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again. And for today's video, I'm going to share my second team that I've used up in the season 17 hisuicup. And this team is super strong over here. What I felt, this team is actually much better than the previous team that I've used up, giving it a bit more safety and more coverage than the first team that I've used. And this team is consisting of a backline of Empoleon and Toxicroak over here, because Empoleon and Toxicroak is a very good contender that picks out really tough wins against maybe a Cress, maybe Drifblim, then Froslass. It takes down the steel rock types, maybe Basti, maybe Probopass, and other ice rock or steel types as well. So that's good. That's how good it is. But since it's going to be a backline of poison and steel, the main weakness for this team is going to be the Gastrodon over here, which is, I believe, the ranked #1 Pokemon in the hisuicup. That is the reason I am taking this as a ABB team style with a Froslass lead over here. Froslass is a really good thing to pick up as a lead, because once you have Froslass in the lead, you can take yourself into shield advantage situation, or maybe you can take switch as well. Depending on the team, depending on the lead that you are getting, you can switch into that. You can use that strategy. Drifblim would have been a better option to handle the Gastrodon, but it would have been much more inconsistent over here. So that is the reason I am switching Drifblim as off with Froslass and giving this team a roundabout really good coverage on this meta. So without further more delay, let's quickly jump into the first battle, which I pick up a lead against Gastrodon over here. So very first team, I pick up a lead against Gastrodon. So my backline cannot actually face this. If I want to face this Gastrodon in the backline, it's fine, but I have to get myself into some advantageous situation right over here. And for this like opponent over here, it's the Gastrodon is actually using Water Pulse, which I shield up correctly, and now I switch out into my Empoleon over here because they have Basti over here, to counter my Empoleon, they comes out with their own Drifblim, which is really good for me because that's how this team is built around. So they went for the Shadow Ball, be it's fine. I can give myself switch advantage, given myself shield advantage over here. So that is the reason I'll be coming back with my Froslass over here. I'll be going for the next Avalanche that draws out the final shield as well, and now I have to shield this next Icy Wind over here because as of the HP that is remaining on the Drifblim, I cannot farm them down with counters. So I have to quickly switch out into my Toxicroak over here. That really gives a hard time to this Basti, which they recognize and top left the game over here, which is really good. Moving on to the next battle, I remember this one. This is actually against a member of the community who is actually running triple shadow team with Bite, Drapion, and I switch out into my own Empoleon, to which they switch out into a really hard counter actually, which is going to be their Magnezone over here. So they can farm me down fully, and now I have to come back with my Froslass, and I thought of not shielding the first move, but later on I shielded up the first move, which ends up being a mirror shot, and they have enough energy to go for the next wild charge over here. So this wild charge definitely does take me out from that kind of range, and now I'll be switching out into my own Toxicroak over here, to which they have a Confusion Gallade, which just wrecks my Toxicroak over here, and I top lip the game out of respect. It's GG's. Hopping to the next battle, I pick up a lead against Drifblim, and for Drifblim, it's a really good thing over here because Drifblim is having a bit less attack over here with respect to Froslass, and I go for the first Avalanche and I call the bait as well, which ends up being a Icy Wind, which is huge now. So I have given myself shield advantage over here, and now I will be going for the next Avalanche, which they caught onto their Basti, which is triple resisted right now, but nevertheless I can easily come back with my own Toxicroak over here and farm them down with super effective, double super effective counters over here. So they'll be going for the next flamethrower. It's neutral, but still it does not take me out because it's a Basti. And now I have a loaded Shadow Ball for the incoming Drifblim over here, which have to shield that because else it will be getting the knockout. And it for the CMP type, which is the best case scenario I can get. And I will be shielding the Icy Wind, although, because I was quite sure that I can easily reach to the next Shadow Ball before they can go for the next Icy Wind over here. So that gets the knockout for the Drifblim as well. And the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be their Toxicroak over here, which have enough energy to, I believe, go for back-to-back, not back-to-back, but maybe Mud Bombs over here, which I shield up correctly, and they top-lift the game over here because there was no win condition. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a lead against the incoming Froslass. This is a tough matchup because since I have a really good IV, PvP IV Froslass, so I will be losing the CMP over and over again. So, but I call the first Avalanche bait over here, to which I'll be going for the next Avalanche that really does get the first shield as well, which is huge, because now if they're going for Avalanche bait, I cannot survive that. Maybe it will put me very low. I will be going for the next Shadow Ball just in time before they can go for the next move. So if they want to keep their Froslass alive, they have to double shield up, and now I'll be switching out into my own Empoleon over here, which have got into a CMB tie over here onto this Toxicroak over here in this scenario, and I'll be going for the next neutral stab Hydro Cannon over here, because that does take care of the Toxicroak over here, how glassy it is. And the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be a Lucario, which is tough for me because that cold breaks my Toxicroak and my Froslass over here, because they'll be going for a Shadow Ball now, and my Switchcroak was not back up yet. So Shadow Ball almost puts me quite low, and from this kind of range I have to farm them down, but I don't have enough energy to go for the next Shadow Ball, to which they go for the next Avalanche just in time, and my Toxicroak is very low, so it cannot withstand any more fast moves. So I have to call this game off over here as well. So GG's to my opponent, really well played. Hopping into the next battle, I pick up a lead against Empoleon. So Empoleon lead is not a good thing for me, because my hard counter to Empoleon is going to be my Toxicroak, but I cannot switch in directly into my Toxicroak, so I have to go for the first Shadow Ball, get myself shield advantage, and then I will be coming back with my Empoleon, to which they comes out with their Toxicroak of their own, which is really good for me because I'll be going for the next Hydro Cannon that definitely takes care of the final shield as well, which is good. But now my win condition over here is going to be my Toxicroak, because I think they have something in the back that my Toxicroak can easily handle, to which I'll be coming back with my Froslass over here. And I call the bait, I believe. Yeah, I call the bait that ends up being Mud Bomb, and that is good because now I'll be going into a CMB tie, so they have to go for the next Mud Bomb, which I am fine with because my Toxicroak is having double shield advantage right now, and I can farm them their Toxicroak down as well. And let's see what they comes back in with. I believe they comes back with their Empoleon over here, which is really good because they can go for one Hydro Cannon and maybe a Drill Peck as well, which is fine for me, and then I can easily go for the next Mud Bomb that does take care of the Empoleon over here. And let's see what the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be a Sneasler over in the scenario. So I have to shield up once again because they have access to Aerialis, which does hit me quite hard, so I have to shield up, and then I will be going for this super effective Mud Bomb onto this Toxicroak that takes care of the Sneasler and gets me the win for this battle here as well. So GG's to my opponent, and really well played. Hopping to the next battle, I pick up a lead against this Abomasnow over here, which is a good lead for me, because I'll be resisting those energy ball and the weather ball as well, and they let the first avalanche go through, which is good. Since it's a shadow variant of Abomasnow, I will be shielding up this next energy ball, because that will hurt quite a bit, and they comes out with their Gastrodon over here. So that is a very good thing that I shield up the energy ball, because it would have been a nightmare situation for me if I would have gotten into that. So I deliberately come here with my Empoleon, because neutral waterfall does chunk, and they have a bait move of body slam that is resisted by my steel typing, which is good. And now I'll be chunking that incoming Toxicroak over here with the Hydro Cannon over here, which is really good for me. And from this kind of range, I am trying to come out with my Toxicroak, but I have to let one move go through, because I'm counting on my Froslass to take this game down, because I can survive one Mud Bomb, because it's a rank 1 Toxicroak, or maybe Toxicroak can survive that, and I can easily go for the next Mud Bomb before they can farm me down with mud slaps over here. So I can shield up the next move, which I believe is going to be the body slam, which I am fine with. But anyway, I have to shield up this move, because they cannot go for the next move before I can go. Before that, I can go for the next avalanche that does take care of the Gastrodon and gives me the win for the battle here as well. GG's to my opponent, and really, really well played. Hopping into the final battle of the video and this set, I pick up a lead against this Gastrodon once again. So Gastrodon is kind of everywhere over here, so that is the reason I am thinking to use my Gastrodon of my own into the next video, which will be out soon. So coming back to the battle, I will be getting the first shield from my opponent with the avalanche, and they will be going to bait me with the body slams over here. So I'll be going for the next avalanche, and if they let it go, which I am fine with, I can easily come back with my own Empoleon and get myself into a shieldless scenario over here, because I'll be going for the next waterfall that does take care of the final shield, and they have put out into their counter as well, which is counter user as well, which is going to be Toxicroak, which I am fine with. And since all the shields are down, I can easily come back with my Froslass, take it down with one Mud Bomb. It does not take me out as well, but nevertheless they can farm me down with this neutral counters over here. But that is good for me, because I have one shield left with me, so I can shield up one Shadow Ball, and I can be going for the farm down over here on this Toxicroak. And the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be their Froslass of their own. So I'll be going for the next super effective Shadow Ball that is non-stab, but still it takes it out, and they have to come back with their own Gastrodon over here, which does not have enough AG to go for Earth Power, so it's just Body Slam that is neutral, and I can farm them down with counters. And there is the very low Toxicroak that gets down with counters and give me the win for the final battle of the video and the set over here. So this team is super good in coverage. It's having less of bulk, but safety and coverage is super good, and you can get elos with this team as well. So if you're trying out this team, do let me know how it is working out for you. And that will be all for this video, and see you again in the next one. Till then, peace.